Hey everyone, welcome back to the North American Challenger Series playoffs. We're now in our second semifinal showdown between Team 8 and Team Coast. Team 8, with a very, very close Game 1, pulled it out in Game 1.
Yeah, they are currently leading 1-0 in this best of 3 over the Summer Series 1 and 2 champions. These guys clash heads all the time for kind of climbing up that hill. Who's the best challenger team?
Yeah.
And the thing here, too, is if Team 8 actually wins, and let's just hypothetical situation, right?
Yeah.
They win, they go to the finals, teams are still going to fear Coast.
Yeah.
If they end up in that third, fourth place match, and it's like, oh, Coast is number 3 behind Curse Academy and Team 8. You're like, no, they really aren't. This is a very, very strong team strategically and individually skilled, but it's going to give a lot of deliberation to the challenger teams.
Right.
And also to the LCS teams.
The bottom LCS teams, yeah. And I mean, honestly, you still want to put on the best performance possible. Even if you do make it to the finals, even if you get your spot locked down, you get an easier opponent by being scarier and scarier and scarier. Team 8, to me, they have the best dragon fights in the challenger scene. They seem to always do so well in those battles. They're there at the right time. It always works out for them. Cali Trolls is on point with his team court.
I think it's the TP from Cali Trolls. I really think it is. Having the top lane shot caller, you really have, like, every 4 or 5 minutes, it'll be like, all right, now there's going to be a huge play coming out. I don't know if it's going to be in our favor or your favor, but something's going to happen. They don't sit around. They will force something. Even when they were behind sometimes, they're like, all right. And they felt behind, too.
Sure.
So they were behind in kills for the majority of the game.
Yeah.
And they were still like, no, we still got this. We're going to make a play.
Well, when you look at the adaptations as well made in this game, I love this, by the way. I love seeing picks and bans play out this way in Game 2. The Thresh goes away from Sheep, the Tristana goes away from Mash, the Nidalee's still dropped away from Rux. The Ziggs are like, yep, Slushie, you're right, not allowed to get the champion. The Yasuo's still banned, the Maokai still banned, but the adaptation bans, very, very smart. So yes, Alistar goes through either to Dodo or Cali Trolls.
It's probably going to go to Dodo. Remember his Alistar, when we saw him previously, like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it was ridiculous. He was bulldozing people down all the time. And he loves to roam, because Maple Street, we always talk about Maple Street's kind of like a solo laner, because Dodo will go off and do something else. He's been playing the caster, so he hangs around Maple a little more. But now he's back on that champion that's going to roam and try to make plays in the mid lane. And against somebody like Syndra, if he can wait for an E to come out, he has a great opportunity in the lane to just headbutt Pulverize.
That's true. It's going to be fun to watch for us. We're going to see how well the Alistar works up in this one. Looks like Maple Street is still going to go for the Kog'Maw here over everything else. Tristana banned as well, meaning there's a bit of a monopoly on hyper carries here. No one's been playing much Jinx for themselves. Still they hover onto Nocturne, though. Doesn't need to yet. Kha'Zix's already been grabbed. But I want to see how these contested picks go back and forth.
Yeah, Nocturne seems to be what did it for Porpoise Pops. When he hit the level 6, he hit it faster than Santorin. He was able to gank the bot lane and upset it. And then he kept coming back to different lanes every time. When the flash was down, he's like, I'm going to gank Rock's top. All right, we got a kill. So he keeps doing that around flash timers, and it's really, really good. And I think the fact that Nocturne is now meta in 4.14 is perfect for Porpoise Pops, because he's been playing that thing forever, like I said. Yeah,
and he's been pretty freaking good at this Nocturne, though. I'm going to see some more of it come out. Mash hovers on the Vayne. I actually do want to see that.
He's been playing a ton of it recently. I looked at his solo queue. He's actually been spamming that alongside things like Varus.
I think Varus is a phenomenally strong champion that's super underrated. I would love to see that champion come out more, but no, Zilean and Corki grab. We see this lane a lot, actually. It's a very strong lane. It's basically a lot of undodgeable upfront burst that's good at bullying you around. It's a lot of the reason that Karma Corki was good back in the day, except that Zilean has a better late game than Karma does, I feel, because of the value of that ultimate. So, very harass-heavy lane here, Team 8. If they do go for Alistar, they've got some healing, so that's pretty safe. If they switch over to Nanami, that'll be great as well.
Yeah, and
if it's Cali Troll.
I was really surprised that the Zilean didn't go Picture banned last game.
Yeah.
Because it's just been such a huge priority in other regions. It was a huge priority yesterday.
True.
In the earlier series today as well, I believe. It was banned away or picked away once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't think it's going to be a Sejuani.
Mid-Sejuani, dude, didn't you see that? Mr. Oink represent.
Sejuani.
Not how it's pronounced.
Really? Oh, I thought it was a...
No.
Okay, my bad.
You're wrong about that. I did the spotlight. I know how to say the name of the champion, darn it. Gragas, Orianna comes through as well. It will be support Alistar. Not a huge surprise there, but we're going to see top Gragas blind picked now for teammates Cali Trolls.
He usually doesn't do that, but he's very comfortable with this because he has a tank in Dodo. They have the burst from the Gragas in the top lane. Yasuo once again was taken away. Like I said that the Yasuo Gragas combo was something that Team A has been practicing a lot of.
Yeah.
But then even without the Yasuo, CaliTrolls is like, yeah, Gragas is right up my alley. It's the Gragas combo. Right up my alley. I'm going to go full AP top lane. Let's do this.
And it's worked so well.
Oh, yeah.
He's had really good temperance and when to go into the fights. He's been very smart about his engagements, and he blows up some squishies pretty often there. Ruck's going to play Mundo into the matchup here. Thinks that'll be his best chance at fighting against this Gragas. Slushi did grab Orianna for himself. That should be all kinds of fun for him. He's a great Orianna player. They're going to see a very high utility team of teammate. A lot of great engage power here, and it basically rests on Maple Street for consistent damage, and then great burst from Slushi and CaliTrolls. Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past Slushi, because this is once again another good Dragon and Baron team fighting composition from Team 8.
It is.
Whereas Team Coast, they have more pick here.
It's very individualistic.
It's kind of pick, win your lane, and then we'll team fight, but hopefully we already have an advantage from the lanes.
Yeah. Well, it's a comp where you really want these separated battles, which almost helps when you're facing a Gragas here. Is like, look, Rux is gonna destroy Maple Street, and like Alistar can push him around, but he'll never die. And so you're soaking up the AD carry the entire fight. Whereas Corki and everyone else gets to kite and actually do good things the rest of the battle. Try to, you know, get rid of this Gragas, get rid of the Orianna, get rid of the Nocturne, who's much lower threat. And so a split up fight, I think, would be significantly better here for Team Coast if they can get that. But Team 8 we've seen just be incredibly well coordinated. Their only slip-ups are getting caught off and getting picked out, and a champion like Orianna can do that. But as far as team fights goes, yeah, Team 8 look real good.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to what Team Coast do with that Syndra pick on Golden Glue, because these guys, we saw they love to camp that Baron area, sweep it out, deny vision. Syndra's fantastic at that.
Yes, she is.
EQ somebody or QE them, and then blow them up right afterwards from Fog of War.
Yeah.
It's a really good strategy, and when we saw them play against Curse Academy, I think we saw a bunch of charms landing from Fog of War, I believe. I don't know, was that Golden Glue? No, that wasn't Golden Glue. That was ManCloud who was doing that.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it's basically the same concept with the vision control that you can execute.
So we're going to see what happens, though. I mean, they did ban away the Thresh from Sheep, but basically a Syndra QE is about as strong. So you have to respect the brush of Team Coast. You got to respect the Dragon plays of Team 8 here, because they basically won the game for them in Game 1 here.
And you also have to respect the fact that Team 8, they basically got the same composition, right? Wave clear mid, Gragas top. They have Maple on Kog'Maw again. Now they have a tankier, but it's still type of engage AoE champion. You know, he is more primary engage. But then they have Porpoise Pops back on that Nocturne that he did so well on. And this won Team 8 the game against Coast and gave them their second loss of Challenger ever. You have to respect that. And also the fact that we got in this game very quickly. The momentum that Team 8 has from the first game. And they're basically warmed up on the same comp. They're just like, all right, just do it again. Do exactly what we did over again. And it's up on Coast to adjust to them.
True. We'll see if Coast has made the adaptations properly. The removal of Ziggs, really the only major change they made here. Toto now getting his Alistar. Should be a bunch of fun to watch. He's been great on this champion.
They know where the wards are. Those wards have taken one hit, so everybody's well aware of the situation that's happening. Maple Street, on the other hand, he's guarding from the flank.
Let's see what we've got. Minions spawn out, and honestly, no real invades happen. Just some ward games. Looks like these teams should be pretty well aware of the jungle starts on both sides.
They're going for a late invade here, though. That ward's actually going to time out. They're going to see it time out. And now Rux is just standing by. He has the body slam ranked up first on CaliTroll's side.
Rux just
out by Rux.
Bodyguarding. And it's not going to be the red invade here. Now, by process of elimination, Team 8 does know that it was a blue buff start for Santorin. And it's actually pretty easy for Coast to know the same thing. They've got that same trigger order of the red buff. So jungle starts known on both sides. Is that going to mean much for those level 3 ganks?
Yeah, they'll have to know the timers. They'll have to know the positioning on the maps for those around the 3 minutes and 30-second mark. But mid lane is always an option and the same distance away. So they could meet. We'll have to see. Okay. Team 8 up 1 game. If Team 8 wins, they guarantee a spot in the 2015 Spring Promotion Tournament.
Yep.
It's an LCS team, and they are that much closer to an LCS dream.
And it's something you've been talking about for a bit, but I think now that they're so close, it's so relevant. You were talking about CaliTrolls. Enrolled in school this semester, we didn't know if his team was going to make it to the LCS. They failed in spring, stayed together, added Porpoise Pops, and said, we're going to do it in summer. barely qualified for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Barely win their quarterfinal match. And now they're 1x's away from it all being worth it.
I talked to him. Cali Trolls, regardless of whether or not they make it to LCS, he is not going to be on the team.
Really?
So if they make LCS, he will not be on the team, sadly.
Wow.
Yep.
That's going to be hard for teammate, though. He's been so good.
He is the shot caller for the team.
Yeah. And their shot calling has been freaking amazing.
He wants to get them to the LCS, though. He wants to leave the team on a good note. He wants to get them there and know that he had that option available to him. And hell, maybe he'll take it. You never know. People change their minds all the time.
I feel like when LCS stares you in the face, you're like, you know what?
Remember when people want to retire?
Let's play the Yeah, remember when Saint retired?
Yeah.
And Hotshot retired?
But
oh, here we go, the flash engage. Sheep gonna take a whole bunch of pain right here. 100 health left on him. He flashed the wave. First blood goes to Porpoise Pops. The time bomb does not kill Maple Street. And we're already at a 1-0 for teammate.
He had to heal himself there for just enough HP to survive. I don't know how. I think he was waiting for the ignite to tick off. So that
he was still on him.
Yeah. But it just wasn't long enough, so he was just like, all right, I have to do it.
Yeah.
And he did it. And it ends up with first blood going over to Porpoise Pops off a great gank. Porpoise Pops has really stepped up this whole last 2 days.
He's been absolutely great. So the very obvious level 3 gank in the bottom lane works off a flash pulverize from Dodo. And teammate now looking good to maybe 2-0 this game. It's too early to tell, but it's already a good start. Maple is last thing in a turret fairly safely. 23 to 29 in CS. Mash is doing well on this lane bully of Corki.
Man, that
look at that. You see that what he did right there? He made that lane freeze.
Yep. Did a really good job of that.
You basically sit there, you make the minions group up so they all hit the same target.
Pull them into the bush.
And then, yeah, you walk right into the bush, and they focus fire the melees.
They focus fire that first one in the line, kill it, and then it starts pushing towards you. It's very, very good. But the thing is that his cannon died a little.
He's still good.
Yeah, died a little fast.
As long as you attack late enough, you're seeing they're down within like 30 HP. That lets his lane still go the same way.
Yep. Also, that wave is closer to the enemy turret.
So they get reinforcements sooner.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Boom. Wave mechanics, which are actually a very important thing.
Incredibly important. We never get to watch this when we see the lane swaps. I'm always impressed by how quickly the AD carries pull the freeze out. It's like by 4 minutes, it's already frozen in front of their turret. But we never watch it because it's like a 1v0.
Yeah, you never want to watch that because there's no action there. But if you are able to watch these games very closely, you can just kind of watch their mini-map movement. I know it's not exactly what you want, but it's always great to see.
One of these, we'll just have the spectators do it for us.
Yeah, one of these days. But then you'll just be like, why is he watching the lane? Blah, blah, blah.
Whatever. You do it like once a month, right? Or you have the color commentator just do it on the laptop and be like, okay, well.
You know what, Freak? Why don't you just make a YouTube video?
I should do that, actually. That's a wonderful idea.
Here's how you freeze in a lane swap.
I think it's a great idea. It's so effective in solo queue when no one lane swaps.
Yeah.
It's really useful information for our audience.
I know, I know.
All the solo
but
queue players.
they will understand competitive play better.
That's true.
In that regard. It is very difficult to pull off sometimes.
To be fair, this was useful in a 2-on-2. Mash just did it off the recall and said, yeah, you're going to miss like 2 waves. Did you know, when you force a recall, sometimes the best thing to do is to not push the wave in and let it stay frozen, and you will lose more of your own minions that way than pushing into the turret.
Yes.
In fact, sometimes you get a kill, and the best thing to do is immediately recall and show back up to a frozen lane. Yep. Instead of doing anything, killing a single minion, you're just like, out.
Yep. And Porpoise Pops, he's actually in enemy territory.
Ooh, spell shields the stun, but it's not going to be enough. Ulti comes out, Santorin flashes in, Q's going to go, Ignite gets a kill to gold.
Here's Lucy though.
And the Shockwave catches 2. What a beautiful ultimate. Santorin does not have flash. He goes down to the Cali Trolls ultimate. Rux's TP might do something. He will slow Cali Trolls down. Now can Golden Glue do enough? He lands the stun. He lands the slow. Cali Trolls body slams, flashes the wall. 1 for 1.
Sheep showed up. You want to know an unfortunate story about that?
What?
Double buffs wore off of Santorin right before Cali Trolls killed him.
Oh, man.
I think... like,
or fortunate if you're Coast.
Literally half a second.
Wow.
Oh, sad life, sad life.
Well, Greg's ulted late. Should have done it sooner.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
It's all your fault.
I'll have to see what ends up happening here in this bot lane, because they're just trying to zone Sheep off. He's going to have to go the long way around. Gives him a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, it's going to leave Match without any CS for a little while. Equalize the lane ever so slightly for Maple Street's favor. Porpoise Pops is going for this same build again.
Oh, did he get blue?
I think
he might have taken the blue by accident here.
I think it might be a
particle
bug.
They both
because he doesn't have the buff in the bottom left corner.
Yeah.
That might be a spectator bug.
He
died.
Permanent blue porpoise pops.
I saw it with Oriana Ball once.
Oh.
There was just a command protect circling around the entire time.
Yeah, he doesn't actually have blue. I was like, what? See, you can't fault me for that one though.
No, I can't.
No, I was like, oh, he has blue. Nope. No, he doesn't.
All is well. It's okay. Porpoise pops. Not really much of a change regardless. Dodo and Maple Street chilling in this bot lane. A little bit down in CS still. And to be fair, they only got assists on that kill. This lane is really not tipped that much. It's just on Porpoise pops. They got that gold lead.
Cali Trolls, he has his explosive cask available again. Doesn't have his TP. Neither does Rux. They both used it to try and show up.
Yeah, about the same time. Dragon is available. Now, Dodo did invest in early boots, so there's actually a lot more sort of zone of control given, because you have to respect anytime he might like walk forward and WQ you.
Oh yeah,
pulverize. So
his sphere of influences moves a lot quicker towards you.
Yeah.
So that he can get in and use the headbutt pulverize.
Yeah, I would say his sphere of influence has a radius of about 8. Because it's in the name. It was, it was a team name pun.
Okay.
Those, by the way, are not low class. It's only player names.
Why isn't Porpoise Pops 8? We'll never know, but here comes Porpoise Pops.
Well,
Speaking of him.
The engage. Shockwave does catch Santorin. Golden Glue re-engages, though, but will Santorin go down? The answer is yes. Porpoise Pops gets a real blue up this time, and now Mash got to be careful. He does have the revive, though. Goes on forward for Maple Street, but he's in a pretty dangerous spot. Flashed away. Somebody Heal goes in as well. Maple Street losing a bit of help, but the Phosphor Bomb did miss. The Zillion Bomb going to do some good damage. His Phosphor Bomb had hit, though. That could have been a kill right there. You can see Dodo now getting slowed down. Good damage coming across Sheep. One shot from dead, but Maple does not have the mana to do so. They will just trade back with no deaths.
And Porpoise Pops, he's actually making his presence known down bottom. He crosses a ward, so they do see his route, and that's going to force Coast's bottom lane completely back.
That's fine. Porpoise did not have the ulti anyway.
Used it effectively earlier.
He did, absolutely. It was a great fight in the mid lane. Dodo's going to use the Relic Shield charges for some gold and some sustain, but this would be a lane push into a likely recall for Maple and Dodo.
Golden Glue missed his EQ, or his QE. I keep saying EQ because I'm like, oh, Jarvan, EQ.
Yeah.
Missed his ball.
Jarvan.
Missed his ball smack.
Scatter the weak.
There you go, scatter the weak. And was able to make an opportunity for Team 8. The ward's coming out around the dragon now.
I feel like we should rename Scatter the Weak into Assorted Days.
Assorted Days.
7 to be specific.
I gotcha. All right, here's the dragon. It might be Coast's first dragon of the series.
And they are trying their Santorin, losing a fair bit of health, though. 1/3 HP
Dodo's
on Dragon.
got Moby
Team
boots,
8
though.
are around. No teleport, so it's a 4v4 straight up. Good stun to Dodo. Good damage comes through. Shield keeps him alive. And now Porpoise Pops goes for the smite. He does get it off of Oriana. And now Santorin has to jump away. Mash half HP as well. Maple has a bomb on him. They scatter. And life is okay. Teammate get Dragon. They get out.
Another dragon to Team 8. Santorin was about half HP. The fact that Dodo also had Moby Boots was really big there because he was able to zone for a long time. He didn't have his ultimate, though. So he didn't have that extra AD when he punched Santorin. Might have been enough.
Could have just barely been. Yeah, it would have been really close, but not the case here. Dodo kills away a pink ward. Slapped it with his cow. Pause the flash engage. Slushi forcing the flash away from Golden Glue.
All right, give me yours and I'll give you mine.
All right.
That's how it works.
And life is equal one more time. Dodo kills another pink ward. That's 2 in a row.
Yeah, Dodo, he loves to roam. That's exactly what the Moby Boots are for as well. He has so much pressure on this Alistar. His Alistar, every champion I've seen Dodo play, I am most impressed by his Alistar play.
Yeah.
Like, well, hands down. Like, his Braum is pretty damn good. His Nami helps Maple Street so much in lane. Yeah. His Alistar is just game-changing when it is on the map.
Yeah, but he, he's home on the range where the deer and the antelopes reign.
Roam?
Roam, whatever. I almost got that one right.
Yeah, it seldom is heard. Discouraging word.
Except on this cast. I make fun of you all the time.
Yeah. And Freak is just mean all day.
Darn right I
Anyway. Alright, anyway, Porpoise Pops, he has his ultimate available to him. They know that Golden Glue's flash isn't up. Are they going to make use of this?
Let's see. So far, Nocturne waiting in the wings. Porpoise Pops does have the ulti. Blue Elf going to go teammate first. No Shockwave in the mid lane, but there is the ability for Golden and Santorin to make a play.
Look at how many damn wards Slushy has in his inventory. He's maxed out.
Yep.
He's like, I'm going to get a pink and 3 greens. Best mid laner NA.
Yeah. I mean, vision controls is so darn important, though. Even with Dragon down, though, this is what I do like, is you keep the vision control up all the time. They're respecting the Santorin ganks quite a bit. Lizard Elder done. Wards in inventory. Santorin can do a whole lot of damage to his enemies. Walks right by a ward, though, and they know there's no gank possible.
So I talked to Santorin about Kha'Zix for a bit. He maxed the W, but he likes evolving the E first for the increased range and also the resets. But no time for that.
Good damage into Sheep, and they go back onto Mash, but Maplestreet's got to be real careful. They know he cannot win the one-on-one because of the Zillion ulti.
He's got to get out of there.
The Time Bomb's going to pick up the kill. Maple and Dodo, I don't know if they're going to get much for this one. The passive is going to hit some good damage on a Mash. He gets hasted away. In comes Santorin, in comes Porpoise, lands the Q mid-flight. That was a beautiful shot by Porpoise Pop. He's going to get the damage killed in, and Calitrolls turns it around on a Zillion as well. 2 for 1 so far. Dodo, great flash, but Santorin's going to get that kill. Gets the reset, jumps away. Actually does not want to go through Orianna in the Dragon Pit. Porpoise Pop's going to get another fear. There's the Command Protect. There's the Shockwave in as well. Slushy gains the kill. Good fight for teammate.
Wow, they come out on top of that. It's a 2.5k gold lead for him. Rux, he's pushing top again, but Cali's got a kill.
Rux gonna get a turn for this one. It was a 3-2 overall. For what it's worth, it wasn't a giant kill swing in teammate's favor. Losing a turret for that isn't necessarily that great for teammate.
Yeah, but at the same time, Calitrolls is going to push that bottom lane. He has Sheen. The question is, how much damage can he get off on it?
Probably a lot, to be honest. He doesn't got minions just yet, but the new wave? Nah, Corki and Zillion are too close.
They're there already.
He's almost out of mana. This is actually very dangerous for Calitrolls.
They're still...
Zillion can't get a range to slow him. You can't get it.
There is a flash from Mash. He's just going to poke him down, and there's finally the slow. Dodo coming around with the roam.
Ooh, no headbutts him into the team. Golden Glue's got to be real careful. TP comes in from Rux. Can he turn the fight around? Slushy down to half HP. Somebody he'll use. Dodo gets the kill. Now Rux in a 1v2. And Santorin is coming by, though. Slushy does not land the W. Nothing picked up.
It's the collapse. Dodo with the roam, making a game-changing, just a headbutt pulverize in the mid lane, and now it's forcing Coast to group up.
That's true.
Now they're going to scatter again because they saw Dodo not sticking around in that mid lane.
Yeah, and honestly, they're 2 minutes early.
They have to react.
Yeah, but they're 2 minutes early for Dragon anyway. There's not much to do down there.
Boy.
Slushy, half HP. Shockwave will catch Mash, but in comes Santorin, in comes Rux. Dodge as well, but not the other. Great shield and a better barrel going to keep him alive.
Calitrolls in the right spot. Maplestreet up top. These are, by all means, not standard lanes at this point in the game. Everybody is everywhere. Dodo's roaming. Maplestreet's top. Cali's bottom. They rotate pretty damn well.
I like this a lot, though. Dodo and the rest of teammate really controlling the correct side of the map, though. They can bully this Mundo around. They can take control of the red buff. They're the stronger team right now. There's no Dragon up anyway. Use this minute to go play topside.
Yeah, they're going to do exactly that while the pressure is on that turret. Calitrolls, he's going to start up this red buff. Corpus Pop.
That's secure.
Going to get it for himself. Nice pink ward to allow that to happen.
Yeah, and look how far back Rux has to play. He knows he's a threat for a dive. He has to hide away. Babel can push the top lane very easily. Yes, Mash and Sheep will equalize, but I still think this has the makings of more advantages for teammate. They can keep going up there.
Yeah, there's 40 seconds on that dragon, though. So if teammate want to keep that little theme of they've gotten every dragon in the series alive, they're going to have to make their way down there pretty shortly.
Let's see, wave clear still happening for Golden Glue, who has been much less remarkable this game. The ultis have not been landing on low health targets. He's been kind of ulting defensively. He had the one turnaround killing the Nocturne earlier on in the game, but otherwise Golden Glue hasn't been getting very many good setups. It's been Slushy and Porpoise Pops picking on him over and over again.
Sheep just backed, and there's 15 seconds on that dragon. He's going to have to rush his way over there. He has Moby Boots. They'll be over there just in time because there isn't a whole lot of damage on teammate just yet to take it out.
Ward coverage on both sides. Dodo tanks a cleaver.
Looking for the fight start. Calitrolls off on the right. He's pinched them in.
Oh, this could be rough. Ulti popped in. He wants to go in onto Mash directly. The knockback in from Gragas, but they go for Sheep, and down he goes right away. Ulti's going to be useless on this Corki. The two-man Shockwave catches Santorin and Rux, but low health bars on Porpoise means he's got to be a little bit careful there. Still a 2 for 0, and teammate owned Dragon.
The Dragon is theirs because the smite available for them. Santorin, he got dropped. Dodo and the flank from Calitrolls coming up huge there. Cali, he's still zoning this team off.
2-0 and 2. The Merlinomicon there for the cooldown reduction. Gets not quite the slow, but knocked back there by Golden Glue Syndra. And another Dragon, now 5, almost 6,000 gold, puts teammate ahead, only 18 minutes in. This is a very clean game one. Maple, he's gonna survive it though. There's just no damage coming out from Golden Glue. He's been held down for the most part, and nothing good is happening for Team Coast. Yeah,
teammate are just getting lead after lead after lead here. They might get a turret for themselves for Coast, but I don't know if they have the damage or the minion wave available against this wave clear composition of Team 8.
Yeah, it's not letting anything happen really for Coast. The bottom lane bully, the Corki Zillion lane, didn't end up doing very much. A great first blood gang. Performance Pops held that one down for a while, and it's just teammate making better choices over and over and over again. Made his bid one more time, knocked him on his way back to the mid lane. Nothing for Coast.
There's no mana here for a lot of the members on teammate, so they don't have any more wave clear available to them, but they are going to back, and Coast is going to relieve that pressure. So a big thing is that champion select. I just want to go back to it because teammate picked the same comp as they did previously for all intents and purposes. Their team fighting, their dragon fighting is better. They're getting flanked again on Coast side by Cali Trolls. They pick up Sheep and watch Dodo. Boom, they walk straight into him, pulverize, and the Orianna ultimate on top of that area. Just great team fighting prowess from Team 8. The teleport and presence of mind of Cali Trolls and the shot calling is on par today. Or is on point today.
Oh, it really is.
It's above par.
It is at least birdie.
Yeah.
Could be eagle.
Man. It's a hole-in-one.
It really is so far. 1-0 so far. Only one turret kill for teammate. It's all been dragon fights and ganks. That's where all the sort of advantages are coming from right now for teammate. But at some point, they will start the siege. Coast unable to really find something to sort of put themselves to. The fights haven't been working so well just yet.
Push down bottom. They're gonna get a turret here for Team 8.
Should be pretty clean. Coast and Mash are around. Performance Pops though, there's the defense. Down goes bottom tier 2. Sorry, bottom tier 1, the second turret for Team 8 now. 7,000 gold ahead
at 20 minutes.
It's a good lead.
It's a substantial lead for Team 8. And if they keep playing the way that they did last game, they know their win conditions, they know how to team fight, and they know how to close out a game with this exact composition. But man, Dodo, that Alistar.
You know, it's surprising to me. People want Merc Turrets again. I'm not really sure what for.
The stun from Syndra?
I guess.
The slow from Zillion.
I don't know if I care about that one that much.
Isn't that a 5.5 second slow?
It depends on the rank of the skill. And right now, Sheep's got at most rank 2 of that, so it's like 2.25 at this point.
It's the longest CC in the game.
Except for death.
Yes.
That one's like 1.25 minutes.
I think if you die at level 1, it's pretty equal to it.
I would rather be dead than get Zillion slowed at certain points in the game. Or Thresh Hook, jeez.
Oh yeah.
It's a fate worse than death.
Oh, here comes the TP in again. Cali Trolls, where's it going?
There we go. Golden Glue gonna have to take the ulti from Zillion, but he's still in a pretty bad spot. Dodo could get a setup, but the Cali Trolls ultimate gets the kill. Shockwave onto Rux. Can he survive this? He's trying to be tanky. Flashes the wall. The flash engage from Dodo. Headbutts Mash into the team, and can they kill him? Yes, they can. Slugy now 3-0-4 on a killing spree, and Team 8 win fight after fight.
They are just going crazy with these team fights. Another flank from Cali Trolls, and here's the thing. Every time he comes in, Porpoise Pops uses his ultimate, so you can't see where he exactly is when he's coming in for the flank.
It's been beautiful. The Nocturne ults have been completely amazing here in Team 8. Our team fighting incredibly well. Mid lane tier 2 taking a bit of damage. They gotta wait for the next wave though.
Yeah, they have a little bit of time. They can continue to clear this out. Mash is up again. Golden Glue's up, and they're gonna back off and they're not gonna be aggressive. They're gonna hold off and they're gonna play this safe. Look at this. The ultimate comes in, but Cali Trolls, he goes straight into Golden Glue, and he had no time to react to that at all. He flashed earlier, but he still got feared, and he still just got destroyed right as the Zillion ultimate came back up. The Gragas explosive cast, the flash pulverize onto Mash, and the headbutt. Dodo getting Mash Me into the fight, which is something that was not happening last game.
True. But now Mash is being held down pretty bad, and really everyone on Coast having a much worse game since they just can't seem to find their way into these battles properly.
Yeah.
It's been all teammate the whole time.
Dodo's been doing a really, really good job this game. Yeah. Highest kill participation in the game. He didn't even start off that way. He started off actually quite low kill participation because kills were happening top and mid, and then he just started roaming around.
Yeah.
And being huge parts of why people die.
He got him first blood on a flash pulverize. He didn't even have headbutt. He had learned to heal at level 2 because of the harassment. Yeah. But it was enough. It set up that kill. It was beautiful.
His Alistar play is really just something else. It's one of those champions that I was surprised it got through. I remember champion select. As soon as I saw it not get banned, I said Alistar. Like, Alistar. Like, that's what they're going to pick. It's not like usually when teammates blue, they're going to first pick something for Cali Trolls. This time they first picked it for Dodo. That's how much emphasis they put on that champion.
Yeah.
To the point that they're like, yeah, we'll get Cali Trolls Gragas eventually.
It's not contested.
We want this.
Yep, that's a smart choice. You got to make sure you pick the contested champions. I mean, if you're going to get it for free regardless, why bother?
Yeah, the patch adaptations here from Teammate are fantastic. And also the meta seems to be in Porpoise Pop's favor with Nocturne.
I mean, the weird thing about that is, like, he's just saying, you know what, Nocturne's good, right? Like, people are just deciding that Nocturne's worth playing. It's not like...
He's played it for a long time.
Sure.
But the thing is when you nerf other junglers, like
That's true.
Lee Sin, Elise, Evelyn, these junglers that haven't been touched, like Nocturne, it's like, oh, he's still at the same power, and he was kind of relevant before.
He's comparatively stronger, yeah. I get that. I'm just not a believer that you have to play in meta to play well.
Yeah,
like, Greg is out of the meta, and that's perfectly fine.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying that when you go outside, or the meta kind of swings into your champion pool just completely, you feel a lot better about these picks. And the reason that they're meta is, I mean, there is a reason for it, right? Like Lee Sin no longer having attack speed slow, Nocturne very attack speed based, you bully around early. There's a whole lot of things that go into these things.
All right, well,
but anyway,
Teammate looking pretty great so far. Maple Street on his way towards his build as it advances. He's looking decent. Mash, definitely buying the wrong item in a Last Whisper now. No reason to buy that item next, but that's okay. I forgive you.
There really isn't any armor on the enemy team either to warrant the purchase of the Last Whisper.
Nor any physical damage spells to multiply, really.
It may not be a Last Whisper. He may be going for Vamp Scepter and...
Vamp and towards Eye Edge? That's true. He could.
It is possible.
He could. That's true.
I mean, we saw a dagger earlier for Zerk Greaves, and then it turned out to be second item IE, so...
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We'll have to see as time goes on, though. But it's still a 10,000 gold lead for Teammate. They slowed the game down for a time. They went back and got work control. You can see a lot of wards have gone down. You've got 3 pink wards left-hand side, another pink ward in the bottom right in the river. Just incredible green ward coverage everywhere. Sheep's got to be real careful. Shockwave catches him. Down he goes. Solo kill for Slushy. And Baron is well under control for Teammate.
Sheep bringing out the Zilean. I believe this is his first Zilean game that we have seen from him in the Challenger Series.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know how practiced he is on that champion. It's very different than his usual engaged style of Leona and Thresh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't usually call things like that into question, but it's a new pick for him. And the fact that he has no safety, it's extremely squishy. You don't build tanky on that.
Yeah. And we've actually seen how new he was to the champion. I think back to that first big dragon fight where Cali Trolls and Porpoise Pops kind of isolated the 2 bottom laners of Mash and Sheep. Sheep ulted Mash at like half HP, and he was under no threat really at all because he got knocked back by the Gragas ult. And then Sheep went down right away because he's like alone with that ulti on. And it's like, wow, that was a really premature Zilean ulti. I'm definitely very unconvinced by Sheep's Zilean. And again, we're going to see both of these teams either tomorrow or the next day in the 3rd place in finals match. And Sheep and Co, I mean, they're looking really bad in game 2. They're going to need to win the 3rd place match to make it to the promotion tournament.
Well,
they better turn it up tomorrow.
Yeah, LawPro currently waiting in that 3rd, 4th place match for whoever loses this game. And Curse Academy waiting in that 1st place match.
Yeah.
But whoever wins this, they're going to be happy because they'll get that 2015 Spring Promotion Tournament spot guaranteed, and they won't have to play another match with their lives on the line, their LCS lives.
That's true. But still, you get to inspire fear in your opponents. That's always a good thing to do as well. There we go.
Oh, the stun.
Taking a little bit of damage. Slushy, gonna get hit pretty hard, but here we go. The battle might begin
Gragas from behind.
Fear comes in. Yeah, there is the flank on Gragas. It completely zones out the back line. Sheep has to ult himself, which means Golden Glue is available for Porpoise Pops. The stun's gonna land, but the fear is still there, and Rux finally does go down. The tank stats wear off. Porpoise Pops will maybe get the chase kill. Yes, he does. Assist from Slushy. 2-0 so far to Teammate. They go for Baron.
They go straight for that Baron. Cali Trolls, every time he TPs in, it even takes me off guard as a caster. I'm just like, where's he coming from? How is he there already on the other side of the team as a Gragas? Right? The TP is just putting him in the perfect spots, and the ward setup from his team is what helps him do that every time. It's a team effort.
Yeah, it's not only great vision, but it's great, like, just TP locations that one could be in. Mash will take down the turret. Dodo push them away, but I guess a little too late. Baron, though, cleanly going over to teammate, puts him very far ahead.
Yeah, teammate have such a great team fighting composition. It's the same one, for the most part, that we saw last game. And a big thing here is Coast team is very early game focused. We saw Golden Glue try to blow up Orianna there. He just doesn't have the stats for it, and he pretty much just blows his load and he's done, and he gets chased off by a tanky jungler.
Yeah.
His
first casters don't really beat tanky champions.
Exactly. And the thing is, teammate wants to front load burst on you and then chase you down with sustained damage.
Yes.
Coast is, I want to front load burst 1 or 2 people and then maybe revive with a Zillion ulti. Like, that's kind of not, it's not an effective strategy unless you're very far ahead, because they picked some lane bully-esque champions.
But teammate just doing so well despite everything in the lineup. Yeah, teammate are playing amazing. Corpus Pops twice in a row on Nocturne has been great. His Kha'Zix, the previous series, was just as impressive.
Teammate has very control, AoE control type composition here. The Shockwave, you even have Porpoise Pops with vision control on his ultimate.
Yeah.
Dodo has control with his movement, his headbutt pulverize. You have this AoE slow from Cali, and then the displacement. Like, all of these things, and even the fear, are just going in their favor, and it's a great composition for them to start running. And I love the fact that they've become more teamfight oriented as a team, because they used to be the team pretty much kill you in lane with small skirmishes.
Sure. Or
Cali Trolls kill you in lane. But that doesn't work at high-level opponents. When you are facing an LCS team, you think you're going to kill balls one-on-one in solo lane.
Not likely.
It's very, very unlikely, and that cannot be a game-winning strategy for you. You have to come in with a different strategy, and if that happens, then you're like, oh, that perpetuates our ultimate scheme even further. But that is not the ends to your means.
That is, it's nice when it happens, but it can't be the relied upon plan
A.
Win lanes, well, yeah, that'd be nice.
You have to have a fallback plan, and I love seeing teammate and adapting to that. But at the same time, Coast, they kind of banked on that this game. They kind of banked on, let's win these lanes. Let's just crush them and Mash Me and Sheep. You know, they are regarded as the best bot lane in Challenger right now.
Yeah.
Maple Street and Dodo, Maple, not an impressive scoreline for himself. Dodo, he's definitely one of, if not the best support currently.
Yeah.
When he's on his comfort champions.
Absolutely agree. And his Nami's been added to that list.
Oh, yeah.
So that is
that list bigger and
ever-growing list of comfortable champions he's going to crush games on.
Yeah, Maple just kind of has his own style. He'll do his thing, and Dodo will take care of him.
That's fine. Here we go. All 6 turrets outside the base are gone. 14-3 in kills. Teammate has been in control pretty much from the very beginning.
Oh, the engage. Golden Glue.
Half HP. Shockwave's going to land, and down he goes. The knockback onto Rux. He's been forced away with the flash. Dodo's in the back line already, and they could get more for this one. Time Bomb, not going to do much. Top lane inhibitor going to lose a lot of health. Actually, Porpoise has got to be a bit careful. Takes 700 heal, does walk away. 1 for 0 so far, and here's the new wave.
They dive straight for Golden Glue, and they reset it, so now they're going to go straight after this turret. Maple Street
going down fast.
There's
the engage. They knock in Rux. Why not kill the tank? His ulti's gone regardless. He's going to drop down Zillion ulti on him, but Mash has to flash away. Rux 1,000 health again. Head butted back one more time. Trying to walk away. Maple should get that kill. Slushy actually picks it up for himself. Now 16-3. 32 minutes in. Teammate even farther ahead.
They're going to get themselves an inhibitor off of that. First inhibitor of the game. 31, almost 32 minutes in, and they're going to rotate towards this middle and clear the wave out.
Clear the wave. 30 seconds on Rux's respawn. The rest of the team is back up. Golden Glue's here.
It's going to be ultimate. It's going to be Cali clearing it out. He has his teleport available now. He didn't have to use it in the last 5 minutes. He's all good teleporting to wards, and he doesn't even have tier 2 boots just yet. He's just getting these flanks off of pre-planned positioning.
So far.
Tier 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's just been great right now. Teammate have done everything right. 17,000 gold lead. And looks like maybe one last recall to set up the game-winning push.
You know how I talked about the meta being in people's champion pools, or champion pools being in the meta?
Yeah.
Santorin, he loves the Kha'Zix, but the evolving of W and the maxing of W first doesn't seem to be completely comfortable for him, like 100%. Like he goes for the E evolve first, which is fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But the fact is, main champions were Elise and Lee Sin, because he loved to go find you in the jungle and fight you, and it's just not happening in this Nocturne, Kha'Zix, Nunu type of meta, and he's kind of shied away from that in his picks. I don't know if he should just go back to Comfort, but look at this. Slushie, oh, the Zhonya's!
That's a great Zhonya's to actually block all the bursts from Golden Glue, and now Santorin forced to run away from this one. Shotgun's gonna catch on a 3! It blows up Santorin's Sheep as well. Now Ruck's getting chased out, the fear should hit, and no, he actually walks away just in time, but Maple now on the chase, doing plenty of good damage. He's gonna walk away with his life just barely, but the Inhibitor's not gonna share the same fate, and Turret's gonna go down. Now the Inhibitor as well, still a 5 versus 3 for 24 seconds. This might just be the game-winning push for
They're going to go for it. Dodo used his ulti.
Pops the ulti. There goes turret number 1, down a half hit points right now. Mash in the wings, doesn't know really what to do. Looks for the flank, just maybe. I think they know they've lost this one. It's going to be the 2-0, 34 minutes in. Team 8 coming from the 4th seed, taking out the number 1 Team Coast 2-0. And welcome to the Spring Promotion Tournament, Team 8.
The team that has had so much bad luck in Riot Challenger tournaments, Team 8, beat the number 1 Summer Series 1 and 2 champions. 2-0. Back-to-back, same comp, evolved their play style to be more teamfight oriented, and beat a team that had a better stat line statistically in KDA than LMQ.
Right, and that's the thing is, you know, Team Coast, a little bit disappointing this series. They played, I think, worse than they sort of meant to. You expect their bottom lane to dominate. You expect Santorin to make these great plays all game. Even Golden Glue, a very, very well-regarded mid laner. And none of that really seemed to happen here. Everyone on Team 8 was on point and outplayed their opposition.
I feel like a lot of it has to do with the patch. Like, 4.14, it's some of the first competitive matches that we've seen on 4.14 in North America. When you see this and teammates' adaptation to it, they're a team that hasn't adapted a whole lot to patches. They finally got it in gear, and they're like, Maple, we're going to have you play some hyper carries.
Sure.
And Mash is like, all right, let's get you on a lane bully, not a hyper carry this game. Let's get Santorin on, we'll get him on Kha'Zix and build a lock-in on that champion so that you have some magic resistance for yourself and not be a complete assassin.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have kind of Sheep going on a Zillion because it's meta. Like, it's just not all coming together for them. And I don't know. I think going back to some comfort picks would have been better for them. I really think that comfort picks would have been better for them because
I agree.
This just seemed kind of like an awkward coast.
Yeah, and this is what I feel about like people saying like meta picks. Like, be good at what you're good at.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
Like my favorite example, Samsung Blue Dade.
Yeah.
Like his champions are not like mid-rise, mid-TF for a while. Even Yasuo, to a certain extent, like he's just like, these are my champions. Deal with it.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like one of the best teams in the world because like, no, here's our style. We're going to play this. You are entirely allowed to play what works for you. I mean, Team 8 for the last year basically did that, right? Top Gragas is nowhere to be seen in any other team, and it's fine for them.
Yeah, there are things that you should learn for champion select so that it's something that is contested, like Maokai Alistar. Like, if you don't play Maokai, you have to blue side ban it. It's not a good position to be in, right?
Sure.
But there are champions that you're like, I should learn it, but I shouldn't first pick it because it's not really me.
Yeah,
like,
you still have to play
your style.
What gives you the best chance of winning. Like, denying an important pick is a value add to your team. It's like, okay, we'll knock them down 1 peg. But if you're knocked down 2 pegs by playing an unfamiliar champion, you're hurting yourself doing this. Now, yes, I agree with you here. Team Coast did not look like the same Coast we're used to seeing. Some of this was, again, great play by Team 8. Porpoise Pops, again, my MVP for this series. His scoreline doesn't show up, but the plays we saw him make were completely worth it, made that team work, and Team 8 are going to the finals. Great job.
Yeah, you could praise pretty much everybody on that team.
Yes, you
Cali Trolli shot calling, teleporting, and then having good explosive casks in team fights. Slushie with his AoE ultimates on Ziggs and Orianna were both on point.
Amazing shot waves.
His tidal waves, game 1, right across Baron Pit, exactly where he needed to be every time.
Yeah.
His peeling, his bubbles were good all series long. And then his Alistar, game-changing.
Absolutely.
Maple Street, he did his job. He did what he had to do. Like, sometimes you sit there and you're like, I will just allow myself to be carried. That's what you have to do sometimes. Just
occasionally.
Like, you know what? I will CS. I will let my lane partner do the poking. I will be right on point with him. I will be a distraction.
Yep.
And Maple Street, he's not like a super flashy player this series.
No.
But he still did his job, and he wasn't a hindrance to his team.
Great.
If anything else, he was just a bonus to them, right? Because you have not everybody on a team can be a playmaker. Right?
You probably shouldn't be.
Exactly. It's actually a dissonance, right? If everybody has the same type of style and everybody's a playmaker, you leave yourself up to too many random circumstances. If Cali Troll messes up, Maple Street's like, I got this. You know, I'm still doing damage. I'm still doing my job and sitting there, even though he went for a very aggressive play. But that didn't happen this game because Cali was right on point.
Yeah,
so they always had that fallback.
Yep, teammate playmaker was on point. Maple Street 1-1-9. You know,
and then Porpoise Pops.
He was Gogma. Yeah, and again, Porpoise Pops MVP for me. But guys, today's semifinal series are now in our match history. The finals are set. Curse Academy will face Team 8 for first place in the summer playoffs on Sunday.
And Team Coast will battle against Team LawPro in a do-or-die best-of-5 for the final spot in the 2015 Spring Promotion Tournament. That match will take place live on the LCS stage tomorrow, and the stakes could not be higher for those two teams.
Rather important match here. But of course, before that series gets underway, the North American LCS kicks off its playoffs as Team Solomid and Team Dignitas play a best-of-5 series in the quarterfinals. The coverage starts streaming at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 8:30 p.m. Central European Summertime with an all-new LCS preview show. Now, that's all from us here today, but before we go, I want to say thanks again to our friends at Coca-Cola, and on behalf of myself, Zyrene, and the entire live broadcast crew, thanks for watching, good night, and GG. And the Shockwave catches two. What a beautiful ultimate. Santorin does not have flash. Ulti popped in. He wants to go in onto Mash directly. The knockback in from Gragas, but they go for Sheep, and down he goes right away. Ulti's going to be useless on this Corki. The two-man Shockwave catches Santorin and Rux. Can he survive this? He's trying to be tanky. Flashes the wall. The flash engage from Dodo. Headbutts Mash into the team, and can they kill him? Yes, they can.
Oh, the engage. Golden Blue.
With half HP, Shockwave's going to land, and down he goes. The knockback onto Rux. He's been forced away with the flash.
But look at this. Slushie. Oh, the Zonias.
That's a great Zonias to actually block all the bursts from Golden Glue. Now Santorin forced to run away from this one. Shockwave's going to catch on a 3. It blows up Santorin Sheep as well. Now Rux getting chased out. The fear should hit.